Rant summer is here. Head on over to ajsrantroom.com. We got all of your summer needs covered. From bathing suits to swim trunks, flip-flops and tote bags, towels, tanks, and muscle shirts. Oh, and you can't forget about the visors and the hats. It's lit. So head on over to ajsrantroom.com and get your summer poppin'. You won't be disappointed. It's always lit over at ajsrantroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to ajsrantroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed. Crazy. Does that make me crazy? Possibly. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Lunchtime Rant. Let's just make sure y'all can hear me and see me well. How do? Hope everybody had a great weekend. I had a good weekend. There's no rest, but I had a good weekend. The weekends are good because you get to touch up on things that didn't work during the week, for the shows, for the podcast, for whatever. Anyway, shout out to everybody watching, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. Oh, hold on. There's one more thing I gotta do before we get started. Hold up, wait a minute. Hold up, wait a minute. There we go. Alrighty, all right. Dun, 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 dun. Breaking news. One day we'll have music and a graphic, and I won't have to care about any of this except talk. Anyway, so the wait, where'd it go? Okay. President Trump is cracking down on flag burning, desecration with executive order. This literally just I literally just was made aware of this like 20 minutes ago. So haven't read through everything, so I really don't know the extent of everything. The executive orders weren't up on the White House website. By the time I found out they were on Truth Social, it was too late to read. But I'll read them and I'll give you an update on all that later. But for right now, President Donald Trump is expected to sign an executive order on Monday, cracking down on suspects who desecrate the American flag, including burning it, by mandating they face prosecution, Fox News Digital exclusively learned. Quote, the American flag is the most sacred and cherished symbol of the United States of America, and desecrating it is uniquely and inherently offensive and provocative. It is a statement of contempt and hostility toward our nation and an act used by groups of foreign nationals calculated to intimidate and threaten violence against Americans. A fact sheet on the order provided to Fox News Digital reads, the executive order will direct the Attorney General to prosecute those who violate laws in ways that quote, in ways that involve desecrating the flag, end quote, and to pursue litigation that would clarify the scope of the First Amendment as it relates to flag desecration. The order additionally directs Attorney General Pam Bondi to refer flag desecration cases that violate state and local laws to appropriate local authorities. The American flag has been desecrated by protesters in recent months, as captured in video footage, most notably during anti-Israel protests that rocked U.S. cities and college campuses under the Biden administration and during Trump administration ICE raids to remove illegal aliens from the nation. The order directs the Attorney General and Secretary of Homeland Security to deny, prohibit, terminate, or revoke visas or other immigrant permits and benefits, of a non-citizen, quote, wherever there has been an appropriate determination that flag desecration by foreign nationals permit the exercise of those remedies under applicable law. According to the fact sheet, anti-Israel protesters were seen lighting the American flag outside the Democrat National Convention in Chicago in August, as well as in Washington, D.C. in July 2024, when Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed Congress amid the war that has continued since 2023, as well as flag burning in New York City's Washington Square Park over the 4th of July weekend in 2024 to protest U.S. support of Israel. Most recently, anti-ICE protesters were seen in June waving Mexican flags on the streets of Los Angeles while burning Old Glory in response to federal law enforcement raiding the city to remove illegal migrants as part of the Trump administration's efforts to secure the U.S. border. Quote, "This is not just a gesture. This is something we need to make real. We need to take down this empire once and for all," a protester holding a bullhorn in Los Angeles was saying as the American flag laid on the ground engulfed in flames, the New York Post reported in June. One protester was seen spitting on the flag as it burned. Could you imagine being that privileged? You live in a country where you can speak out against the government as loud as you want to be. You can burn the flag of the nation. You can hold up the flag of another nation, and you still have your freedom. What a privilege. What a privilege. What else? Is there anything else worth reading here? Opposition to the flag and the national anthem grew large in 2020. Yeah. We don't care. Colin Kaepernick, blah, blah, blah. George Floyd, blah, blah, blah. Trump's expected executive order on Monday. He has already signed it. Follows a handful of presidential actions and initiatives he has launched to restore and promote patriotism, including banning state department offices nationwide, such as embassies, from flying any other flag than America's. I agree with that. Why would you fly the flag? I don't get some of these people. The president additionally installed two massive 88-foot tall American flags outside of either side of the White House in June as part of a patriotic endeavor that Trump personally funded. Uh-oh. All right. Listen, I'd have to read the executive order. I have to read how he's going to go around the First Amendment, because that was the first thing I thought of. I was like, well, I know there's a Supreme Court ruling on this. I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head, but I know they have ruled that it is a form of symbolic speech protected by the First Amendment. So we'll see how this is challenged. We'll see how this, if this goes to the Supreme Court, which most likely it will, and then we'll see how the Supreme Court handles it. The Supreme Court also did say in the ruling that the act might be offensive. I'm paraphrasing, but the government cannot prohibit it as long as it's done in a way that doesn't harm others or damage property. Okay, I mean, I'd have to get down to the nitty gritty on that. But that's the news. I'll have some clarifications for y'all tomorrow after I've read the executive order. And there was another executive order on cashless bail. I want to read that as well. So I'll have an update on that for y'all tomorrow as well, because this is it's good stuff and it's interesting stuff, but it's also stuff I need to not look at from my personal perspective. I have to look at it constitutionally and make sure it's sound and make sure, because I would be a hypocrite if I sat here and say, yeah, that's great, because I agree with it. Yeah, I can agree with it. That doesn't mean it's constitutional. So we'll see. we'll see what happens, and I'll keep y'all posted for tomorrow. I'll keep y'all posted tomorrow on that. But anyway, where are we? All right, Snoop Dogg has pissed off the LGBTQI community after the legendary rapper said he was, quote, scared to go to the movies after watching Disney's Lightyear film with his grandson and seeing an LGBTQ plus couple in the joint. Take a look.
I took my grandson to see what was the movie with Buzz Light?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
Yeah, Kiki Palmer is in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women's. How did she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, it's fuck me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for.
I don't see what's offensive about what he said. Listen, you think you're going to just take your child to a movie and just see regular things, nothing crazy, Although looking back on a lot of the cartoons we enjoyed as kids, there's a lot of subliminals in those cartoons, but that's not the conversation right now. Right now it's just right there in your face. And then kids are curious. They want to know, and they're going to turn and they're going to ask questions. And I'm pretty sure Snoop said something, but he couldn't repeat it on the podcast because you thought what he said was offensive. Probably what he said to his grandson was worse. Listen, black men ain't with the bullshit. They're not. As much as they try to placate, oh, we're Democrats, oh, we like this, we accept this. A lot of black men don't, and I get it, and don't understand it, and don't want to explain it, and don't want to explain it in a way where it's forced on them in a moment where they're not expecting it. Now, it's one thing if the kid came up to him and was like, "Look, whatever," but we just going to watch a movie. I just want to hang. He just want to hang out with his grandson. He not there to, deal with world issues, social issues. He's not here to deal with LGBT issues. He's just there to watch a movie with his grandson. So I heard nothing offensive. I don't understand why people are outraged. And let's be very, very clear. The days of Joe Biden and Democrats being in charge and canceling people. First of all, Snoop's a legend. Snoop's an elder at this point. You can't cancel him. He ain't going nowhere. And you ask the average black man and ask him that, she got to pack much back, and they're gonna be like, hell no. No. We good on this. I've seen black men. I don't know if y'all know an artist named Marsha Ambrosius. Anyway, she had a video called Far Away, and it had a same-sex couple in it, and the dude ended up unaliving himself at the end of the video. But before all of that, they had like them walking, holding hands, and I remember the dude looked up at the TV because the son was he was with his son and another and a woman. I think he was with a woman. Anyway, the son was looking up at the video, and he was like, nah, he can't watch that. He can't watch that. And it's just like, why do y'all want these kids to be so? Well, I understand why y'all want to do it because it's easy to desensitize kids and then have them all open up to stuff. And this is why I read something this weekend where it was like this astronomical number of people who identify as trans now. And I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but I was like, whoa. And so you have to really convince me that that's not something that's being promoted versus something that's natural, right? I don't think it's natural. I think the actual trans population is much lower, and you just have people who are curious, and now they see things being before them, and you see bodybuilders now becoming trans women, and all of this crazy stuff. And so it's definitely an intentional and deliberate thing, in my opinion. Even though all of it's right there in your face. Because look, Snoop just went to the movies with his grandkid and was like, I don't want to answer all these damn questions right now. I just want to enjoy the movie. And that's the point. We can't enjoy life anymore. We can't enjoy life anymore because you don't know when you're gonna have to sit up here and try to explain some nonsense to people. But I agree with Snoop. I agree with how he handled it, although I think he did say he probably had a few choice words for his grandson, but he can't say it on the podcast, but it is what it is. Anyway, so the Menendez brothers were denied. They were denied. They were denied parole. An unexpected, erroneous release of Eric Menendez's parole hearing audio causes family uproar as both brothers deny parole. This is disgusting, and I'm reading from the New York Post. The high stakes parole hearing of Lyle Menendez was thrown into chaos after an audio recording of his brother Eric's own hearing was published online, sparking a furious uproar from family members, according to reports. On Friday, just as Lyle's hearing hold on, was wrapping up, an audio recording of his younger brother's hearing was obtained and published by ABC7 through a public records request, detailing the 1989 shotgun slayings of their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, the Los Angeles Times reported. The release sparked immediate backlash inside the hearing room, the outlet reported. This is disgusting, says Tiffany Pastor, one of the brothers' relatives, screaming at the parole board, according to the outlet. Quote, you misled the family, and now to compound matters, you violated this family and their rights, she said. Eric, 54, was denied parole for 3 years after Thursday's 10-hour hearing, his first shot at freedom since being sentenced to life for the murders of his parents. It was a crushing defeat for Menendez after a long-winded battle in which his attorneys and family members had insisted he had been rehabilitated after more than 3 decades behind bars. In a bombshell audio, Eric Menendez repeated several details from the night of the slayings, including his insight into his present character and the abuse he suffered at the hands of his parents. Quote, fear was driving me to the den and rage. The idea that dad was going to come to my room, dad was going to come to my room and rape me that night. That's what was going through that's what was going to happen one way or another. And so I just went and ran. I got a gun in my room. I got the gun in my room and went down to the car and I loaded it and I ran into the den before Lyle could, Eric Menendez said in the published recording. When asked why the pair also targeted their mother, Kitty, in the murders, Eric told the board that his mother's alleged support for their father made the two of them feel like one person. Okay. Quote, she was his dad's victim. I should have known that. I should have separated it in my mind. But that night I saw them as one person, he said. Quote, I was raised purposely without the moral foundation that I should not do wrong when I know the difference between right and wrong. I was raised to lie, to cheat, to steal. Steal, in a sense, in an abstract way, Eric continued in a separate excerpt. When asked how he knows the difference between right and wrong, Eric told the parole board it took an evolution in his life, beginning with his belief in God again. Parole Commissioner Robert Barton eventually detailed why the young brother was not eligible for parole, citing rule violations, including possession of a cell phone and fights with inmates in 1997 and 2011. Parole attorney Heidi Rummel, who represents both brothers, blasted the board and requested a break during the already 9-hour-long hearing for Lyle, eventually arguing that the hearing would no longer be fair after the audio release, the LA Times reported. Quote, "We are sitting here asking Mr. Menendez to follow rules," she said during the hearing, according to the outlet. Quote, "And in the middle of the hearing, we find out CDCR is not following its own rules. It's outrageous. I don't think you possibly understand the emotion of what this family is experiencing," Rumel said. Quote, "They have spent so much time trying to protect their privacy and dignity." Parole Commissioner Julie Garland, Julie Garland, has said audio of the brothers' parole hearings could be released under California Public Records Act, and that transcripts usually go public 30 days after a decision is issued, the outlet reported. However, Rumel noted that that during the hearing that a parole attorney she had requested for parole hearing audio denied in the past. Quote, it's highly unusual," she said during the hearing. Quote, "It's another attempt to make this a public spectacle." Rumel also objected to media access to the hearing and implied at one point that media access had led to a leak. Oh, well, look, here's the thing. Look. I understand. Honestly, I still don't know if I believe them. To be perfectly honest, I don't know if they were ever abused. I don't know. I know the father ended up like one of the dudes from the boy band Menudo was accused their father of abusing them. I know that happened at some point over the years. One of the band members, I don't remember his name, but even with that said, if the reason why you did this and it's just so murky, and I don't know if I believe them, to be perfectly honest. I don't know. I don't know if they were abused. I don't know if they were not abused. I don't know. So because nothing has been presented to me in this case that says yes one way or the other, right? Now what has happened, what created this new interest in this trial is social media, TikTok, the younger influencers coming up reading about this case and really digging into abuse, and they try to really ring in that abuse angle, right? Which is fine, you know but there's still no concrete. There's nothing concrete that I've ever read or saw on this case, and I probably follow this second closest as I follow the OJ trial, and I'm not sold. Here's the thing: I understand being abused. I understand that. I understand people react different ways to being abused, but there's a proper way to handle it, and there's an improper way to handle it. Why didn't you have your father locked up? That's the way to handle it. For anybody out there, go to the authorities. That's it. Period. This way you don't have to spend the rest of your life in jail for blowing your parents' heads off. And I mean, it was overkill from what I remember. And so I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not sold. And then, when you think about what they did right after, they went on shopping sprees and they were crazy. And then the idiot goes to the therapist and confesses to the crime, and the therapist then tells everybody. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Mm, I don't know if they've been rehabilitated. I don't know. And then they also brought up in the hearing the fact that I think it was Eric, the, the one that was paroled first, to deny parole first. They brought up his past of stealing. He has a past of stealing, and then yes, Lee. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so that they latched onto that abuse angle and they use that as a justification. So now they got their life sentences reduced to 50 years to life. And so that immediately made them eligible for parole. And I don't know if they'll ever get out. I don't say I don't care, but I don't know. I don't know if I believe them. So that's just my honest opinion on the case. Anyway, uh moving on. So, for those who don't know, this is Shilo Sanders. So, yes, there were two of Deion Sanders' sons were drafted into the NFL this season. Shiloh is defensive back, I believe, and then you have Shador, who's a quarterback. Now, Shilo was drafted to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't know what round he went in. I think it was one of the later rounds. I don't know if he went earlier than his brother. I don't remember the sequence of events. But anyway, he was subsequently, hold on. I think, hold on. I am trying to pull up the article here. Oh. We just, okay. Wait, we have to delete that. Ball of confusion. There you go. That what the world is today. All right, cool. Now we have that. And no, not that. There we go. Break it down. Oh. Why did it put up the same restream? We have a glitch here. Because you can't put multiple articles in at once, which is annoying. All right, cool. So I'm going to show y'all, first of all, he's a Nepo baby. Let's start with that. He's a Nepo baby. Oh, wait, Shilo was undrafted? Oh, he was undrafted. That's right. That's right. That's right. Thanks for reminding me, Prince. He was undrafted. So here you are. You haven't even made the roster yet. You haven't secured your spot on the team yet. You're still sort of auditioning, right? They're still trying to like, oh, okay, should we use him? Should we not? Okay, cool. So this was a preseason game this past weekend. And here's the thing. When you're a Nepo baby, you're going to get taunted. People are going to target you, things of that nature. And I'm pretty sure Deion was like prepared the boys for like what could possibly happen. But even all the preparation in the world doesn't prepare you for the moment. And so here we go. So I'm just, actually let me read this first and then we'll. So Shilo Sanders may end up with the Bucs despite punchy preseason, not punchy preseason finale report. Shilo Sanders could. Oh God, I hate these stupid banners. Shilo Sanders could end up being on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster for the 2025 season, despite reportedly being waived following an ejection in the final preseason game of the year. The Buccaneers waived defensive back less than 24 hours after he was ejected from the team's game against the Buffalo Bills, according to multiple reports. He threw a punch at Bills tight end Zach Davison. It doesn't appear all hope is lost. Oh, is it? Pro Football Talk reported Sunday that Tampa Bay has yet to fully shut the door on Sanders joining the organization as a member of the practice squad. So in other words, you still don't have you don't have job security just yet. The team reportedly enjoyed having the son of Pro Football Hall of Famer Deion Sanders in the facility, and that the player was remorseful for his actions against the Bills. Sanders could sign on to the team's practice squad if he clears waivers. Sanders, the brother of Shador Sanders, joined the Buccaneers as an undrafted free agent. He did have a good shot at making the team roster before the incident. See, this is what and then this is why you gotta hold your head in these moments. You can't be reacting. Sanders transferred to Colorado once his father took over as head coach of the Buffaloes. He initially went to South Carolina. He played 21 games for Colorado between 2023 and 2024. He had 137 tackles, 1 interception, and 1 sack during his career. The lone interception was returned for a touchdown. Bam, cool, great. All right, look, again, when you're a Nepo baby, you got to watch your back. You got to protect your neck because you're a target. People don't think you've earned it. People don't think you got it out the mud. You basically went where your father was working. Your father's an NFL legend. Your father has pull. Your father has status. Your father's one of the greatest to ever do it. And here you go, riding the coattails with not as much talent, if any, and you're not that guy, right? And so here's the moment that that everything went to ish.
Sanders, right there, and a shove back.
Now you see, here's the thing. Okay, now I got it. Davison, y'all was getting in a little kerfuffle here, and once he released, you gotta let it go. That's it. They should have just deaded it right there. But no, you disrespected me, bitch. And now you're ejected from the game. Um, before you even had a job, your job wasn't guaranteed. This was stupid. Understand, heat of the moment. Things happen. I get it. I get it. But this whole, oh, let me go to that. Oh, yeah. So of course, the black people are making this a race thing. And the black people I'm like, you're talking about a league that's 90% niggas, but okay, it's a race thing. Of course it's a race thing. What else would it be? And so uh wait, let me go to the neighborhood talk. They had a post. All right, so here we go. Oh, that was my comment. These comments are hilarious. Where's the self-defense? Where's the injustice for this Nepo baby? Shilo is clearly wrong here. The way his kids are being treated needs to be studied. Clearly someone who doesn't watch football. He got into it happens. The stakes are high. I don't know if Davison is auditioning or if he's on the roster already. I don't know. But Shilo, you're not on the roster. You're still in the running to become America's Next Top Model. So you can't be out here acting up. You're still technically auditioning. You're still technically at the job interview. So if you can't handle a preseason game and a little bit of taunting, then what you gonna do when the hot lights on? So we need to know we can trust you, right? And then here's another comment: self-defense. They hate Deion and making his sons pay for it. Ridiculous. God gives his toughest battles to the strongest soldiers. The Sanders boys are about to have a testimony so big, mark my words. Y'all ain't gonna boycott the NFL like we did to Target. Listen, what I do like is that Coach Prime went into his Bible because whatever, and he tweeted some Bible verses in response to what happened. And hey, look, I get it, you know. But also, Coach Prime in his prime was not quoting Bible verses. Coach Prime in his prime was arrogant, full of himself, loved himself, was himself, and whatever. We love the pomp and circumstance of it all. And this is great. But no, this whole thing that they're being man, what league getting soft? That's regular in football. To get cut is a lot for that. Yeah, to get cut when you don't have job security. Yeah, you don't throw a punch. You don't throw a punch when you don't have job security. When you don't have job security, you put on your best behavior. You put yourself on your best behavior, and you go out there. You play the best football that you can play in that moment. You give them 100% or whatever you have in that moment. You don't go out there and act up. You don't go out of character. Somebody taunts you. You got to learn to ignore it. And that tight end is like a whole foot taller than him. The other guy was holding his helmet. That ain't allowed. The NFL is not against them. The NFL wants them to earn it like everybody else had to earn it. And y'all think because these are Nepo babies that somehow these Nepo babies. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought y'all was watching it with me. Apparently y'all weren't. Anyway, I'm bored. You got to earn it like everybody else. And then when you have a leg up, there might be some pushback. And if there's some pushback, you deal with it. But either one of these boys are not wanting for anything. And Brian. Anyway, moving on. So the WNBA players are complaining again, yet again, yes again. You know what they're complaining about? They're complaining about having to play back-to-back games. And they're complaining about the overall schedule of the WNBA.
Terrible. That's my only comment on it. It's like they don't care about player safety. It's like they don't care about scheduling or whatever. And I mean, I only mentioned that one time in the beginning of the season, and I know people always love to come and say, "Oh, you guys want to get paid more? You guys need to play all these games." But at some point, there's a sports science to it, and yeah, it's honestly just like game on game on game on game. So we play tomorrow, and we're professional, and we'll do it.
So let me get this correct. Y'all had an offer on the table that moved y'all salaries up, what, 4 or 5 times? Y'all said no. The NBA plays 82 regular season games. So every team plays about 82 regular season games. The WNBA plays about 40 regular season games. So you play half the games, but you want the same money. You realize playing 82 games is very hard on the body, right? And then if you move on to the playoffs and then you advance to the finals, that's at least another 14 games maybe? No, wait. 14. Is that 21 games or 14 games? My math is off. Um um is Where's Prince? Prince would know this better than me. Is it 14 games or is it 21 games? Anyway, plus an additional set of games, right? If Prince is here, he'll answer it for me. And you want LeBron money, but you don't want to play LeBron's game. This is why we don't take y'all seriously. This is why we laugh at y'all complaining about money. And you know what's so funny? Y'all are up here complaining, bitching and moaning and bitching about all of these things. And then you had the sacred goat, which is Caitlin Clark. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all could talk about all these other players if y'all want to. But Caitlin Clark was the goat. She is the one that's literally opening the doors. 21. Thank you, Tony. 21. So you have the possibility of playing a 21 additional games. So that's 100 and what, 3 games? So you have the potential to play over 100 games. That's why they're getting the money they're getting. Because they are dogging it. By the end of that season, I can imagine your joints are probably like Hey, y'all complaining about playing back-to-back games. Y'all only got to play 40 regular season games. And y'all not packing out arenas. Y'all ain't got people coming to see y'all. Who coming to see you, Otis? This is exactly why everyone laughs at the WNBA. Now, as y'all get closer to turning a profit, we'll see where the numbers land this year. Hopefully, y'all can start to put your money where your mouth is. But these stupid complaints out in the public, out in the open. I'm not saying it. I would never say that. I would never say that. Never say never. Oh, God. 15? Oh, possibly 15. 15 extra games. I thought it was 7, 14. I know it was 7. Possible 7, right? Okay. I don't know. Anyway, um I ain't got nothing else for y'all. We'll just talk about y'all every week as long as y'all keep coming up with these ridiculous claims and turning down good money. And I mean, like, you gotta do the math, y'all. Do the math. If the math is math, then they'll pay y'all. But the math ain't mathing, y'all. Anyway, moving on. Zohran Mamdani. He's skinny fat. So he appeared at a men's health event somewhere in New York, and clearly this was staged. And I don't know how much he's trying to bench press there. It looks like a 35 plate. Looks like a 235 plates or 245 plates. I can't really tell from this angle, but let's see how strong he is.
This is how you move up in the pole. This is how you move up in the pole. Yeah. This is how you move up in the poles. Yeah.
Oh God, the music.
Yeah. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Damn music. Oh yeah, look. He putting nothing behind that. That is all the person that's spotting him. Like, he get up like he got. Now, how you could tell he's fat? Hold on, let's go back here. This is how you could tell he's fat. So when he's on the bench and he gets up and all that meat, see all that meat? All that meat. Oh, y'all can't see the cursor. But y'all see all that meat in the midsection? That's how you know he's skinny fat. He's 33 and clearly does not work out because he doesn't have to. He's a Nepo baby. Yet another Nepo baby. And here's the thing. If you don't work out, just don't go pretend that you do, because you don't. You clearly don't, right? And if you can't push 45, slap some 25s on there, or just let me do the bar. But it's so obvious this was staged, because they clearly, whoever his reps were, went up to them and said, y'all have to hold the bar for him because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. But here's a 70-year-old RFK Jr. showing you how it's done.
Yeah. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah. Let me get one more. Let me get one.
He's still going. A 70-year-old man just put you to shame, bro. You can't even you didn't do one rep on your own. RFK just did about 20 reps. Stop playing in our face. First of all, this mayoral election in New York, is Adams and Cuomo's to lose. I'm not even thinking about that Republican candidate. What is his name again? I don't even remember his name off the top of my head. Sliwa. I think that's his name. I'm not even counting Sliwa. The Republican Party has given up on New York politics for the time being, and whatever, which is stupid. So it's pretty much down to Adams and Mamdami, right? And I just wish Cuomo would go away. New York City don't want you. You're not New York. You're not a New Yorker. You're like a New York. You were good for New York State, but you weren't good for New York, right? So get on with it. Get out of here. Scram. That's how you do the damn thing. I don't do weights. But isn't a spotter's only? Isn't a spotter only supposed to be there in case you need help, not to help? Yes. Technically, usually the spotter will come in towards the later reps, and then like to push you maybe to do one or two more reps. But for the most part, they're not supposed to help you throughout. They're just there to make sure you don't kill yourself, right? And then to help you probably through those last couple of reps. That's usually what the spotter's there for, but not to help you do 2 reps, which clearly you probably have never done in your life because you didn't have to. You're a Nepo baby from the middle of Uganda, born into lots of privilege, And now you want to convince us that you're one of the common men. You're one of the common people. Wasn't he black at one point on an application? Anyway. Y'all can't even get it together, New Yorkers. Get somebody who at least, yes, when you start to fail. Exactly, Lee. When you start to fail, that is what the spotter is there for. The spotter is not there to help you do all the work. The person who was spotting him did most of the work. He got a bicep workout out of that. A little bit of back as well. But and then he got up like he did something. Bro, shut up. I'm also, oh God. And then these New Yorkers, oh yeah, let's go up in the polls. Let's go up in the polls. You ain't go up in no damn polls. If New York elect this man, I'ma laugh. I'ma laugh at y'all. I'ma laugh so hard because y'all really think prosperity is covered through socialism. Anyway, we'll be back. All righty. So let's on to the main course. I just irritated my chakra over the weekend because we all know that I support King Randall the First. I think what he's doing should be duplicated all over the country. I think that what he's doing is amazing. He has started a school for young men in his community, and he's using no government funding. He's very transparent with how he's using the donations. He's very clear on what his intentions are. And for some reason, the brother can't catch a break. You know why he can't catch a break? Because he's not a Democrat. He can't catch a break because he doesn't toe the line with the Democrat Party and the welfare state and all of that stuff. And he's teaching young men how to be men, many of whom don't have father figures in their homes. And so this fake outrage over him teaching young men table etiquette. Now, apparently, table etiquette is white. It's whiteness, You would think that King Randall the First was out here teaching these dudes, these young men, how to moonwalk on Mars, or how to roll a blunt the way these people are acting. He's simply showing them how to sit down, how to use a fork, how to hold a knife, how to carry themselves like dignified young men. And somehow folks are saying this is him trying to be white.
Lower your hand. Put the handle of the fork in your palm. The handle of the fork in your palm. Good. And we're cutting. And pivot. Good job. Good job. Take your time. Chew with your mouth closed, please. Remember. Close the lip and cut. Okay, great job. Now, because you have salad dressing all over your lips, what's your pause position in European style? Upside down V. Fork overlapping the knife. Good. Now you take your napkin, place it on your index finger, and dab.
Tastes good, don't it?
Good job. Now place it back on your lap. I'm so proud of you. Great job.
Oh my gosh, the travesty. Oh my gosh, did you see that travesty of teaching young men how to be proper gentlemen? Listen, y'all. When did manners become whiteness? Since when did self-respect at a table mean you're selling out your culture? Let me flip it back. Let me flip it right back. You think the black kings and queens throughout history, the Ethiopia, Mali, Egypt, Ghana, and beyond, were sitting there licking grease off their fingers and slurping with no awareness? You think that's how they ate? No, no, that's not how they ate. They had etiquette too. They had protocol too. There's a certain way to conduct yourself. And so no, they sat in palaces, they held feasts, they dined with dignitaries and understood the value of presentation, discipline, and respect. But no, according to some folks today, being black means you only act hood. Being black means using your fingers to sop up greasy chicken boxes of from the corner spot. Being black means you laugh off not knowing how to set a table or how to eat in front of the people of power, as if ignorance is a badge of honor. Let me ask you something. What is eating white? What is learning whiteness? Since when did knowing how to conduct yourself in the world become a racial thing? This isn't new either. Let's go back to Booker T. Washington. He built Tuskegee to teach black men and women not only trades, but refinement, order, discipline. Was that acting white, or was it building a foundation for a free people? I mean, even look at Frederick Douglass, a man who taught himself to read, who understood the importance of literacy and how to carry himself in public, even when the world wanted him silent. Was that whiteness? No, that was power. Even today, even if you look at it, and as problematic as he is, Jay-Z is an example, right? The same guy who came out of Marcy Projects now sits at tables with billionaires and presidents. He didn't abandon his quote blackness, he expanded it. He knew how to play the game because he learned the rules of the table. That's not whiteness, that's strategy, that's global citizenship. Learning how to do things properly is not, quote, acting white. It's called breeding. It's called culture. It's called knowing how to be a citizen of the world. And more importantly, it's about teaching young boys that they can walk into any room, any boardroom, any palace, and know how to carry themselves with dignity and confidence. That's survival. That's power. That's legacy. So the next time somebody tries to tell me that etiquette, education, and refinement are whiteness, I'll tell them flat out, no, that's greatness. That's excellence. That's black excellence, if you want to be specific. And if you can't see that, you've already surrendered to some lies that were designed to keep you stuck. King Randall's work is not about whiteness. It's about showing these boys how to walk like kings amongst kings and queens. And if you've got a problem with that, maybe the problem ain't him. Maybe the problem is you. Did you ever think about that? Are you jealous? Envious? A little green with envy? You wish that was you. You wish that was your son. You wish you could teach it. You can go on YouTube University. You can learn anything on YouTube University. If you want to learn how to properly set a table, if you want to learn how to hold your fork, your knife, if you want to know how to dab your mouth, because we all know one of my pet peeves is eating. It's annoying. I don't like watching people eat. I don't even like to eat myself, but it's something that has to happen. It's part of life, right? And sometimes I just watch some people, male and female, and I'm like, what raised you? Like, it's one thing if you're watching like a football game. I'm not expecting you to be like, oh, but damn, even at Denny's, put a little, wipe your mouth. I'm so tired of us believing that the doing things properly, that order and having a schedule and a budget and managing your life is somehow a trait of white people. Anytime you try, amen. Oh my God. if you chew with your mouth open, more than likely it's gonna last about 3 seconds before I'm like, really? Really? Like who eats like that? Lions eat better than that. What the hell are we doing? Y'all shame. No, God. You know what's so funny? I don't know if Prince is still in here, but when I was we go to this, we went down for the Super Bowl this year, and he's like, "You don't look people in the eye when we're eating." No, because I think eating is one of the most reprehensible things I could witness. I just don't like to watch people eat, so I'm very like, and not that they eat bad because they don't, but it's just, ugh, I don't want to watch it. I'm good. I hate when people talk with their mouth full. I hate smacking. I hate slurping. I just don't like it. I don't like it. It is. What? Why do people? Why do people do that to their coffee and their tea? Why? Why? For what? What is the point of doing that? What is the point of slurping coffee and tea? Pasta, I might give you a pass, maybe, but coffee and tea, what's the point? If it's hot, then wait till it cools off. If it's too hot for you, wait till it cools off. I don't need to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Ugh. Anyway, I'm off my rant. Ugh. Yes, yes. See, I'm glad the people know me. I'm glad the people know me. I'm so glad the people know me. Oh, the people know me. Yes, yes. Oh, God. No, don't slurp soup either. I don't want, no, there's no reason to slurp soup. Why the hell are you slurping soup? Well, I can see we're never going to break bread, Lee. Because if you slurp that damn soup in front of me, I'll be like, really? Really? Okay. I hate it. I hate it. Anyway. All right. Well, that's our show for today. I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you so much. What did I say on TikTok? I will be live on TikTok today at 5 o'clock. Also, tonight is at 8 p.m. is the Rant Experience. What are we talking about tonight? Oh, we're talking about Donald Trump. Um, I don't care if you eat. Just don't eat like a wildebeest. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God. I'm just looking at you like, what raised you? Again, if it's like football or watching the game or chilling out or vegging out, I get that. But damn. Anyway, um, the rant, yes, I do. I remember. The rant experience is tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on all the platforms, the YouTube, the X, the Kick, the Twitch. I appreciate y'all for watching. If you would like to support the channel, here is the website. This is ajsrantroom.com. I'm working on an expanded countdown ad, which I was hoping to have available this week, but it's probably not going to get finished this week because brother has a lot to do. So I will definitely hopefully on the next, well, actually, we're not here next Monday, and there is no rant experience next Monday either because it's holiday. Y'all gonna stop going at me. Oh man. No. Again, I'm not saying you can't eat in front of me. I'm just saying don't eat like a wildebeest. Anyway, please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, we're a growing movement here. So in order to grow, I need y'all to share the content. Share the content. I drop clips from the show throughout the week, especially on the weekends. So make sure you support those and hit like and watch it all the way through. And even if you watch it on mute all the way through, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. And I will catch y'all tomorrow with those Trump updates. And I appreciate y'all. Thank you so Thank y'all so much. Have a great one. Peace out.